Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the factors affecting the earth crust. Basically, there are two types of factors which affect the earth crust. First one is endogenetic forces and second one is the exogenetic force. Endogenetic force works inside the earth crust and exogenetic force works on the surface of the earth crust. Due to endogenetic movement, epirogenic and orogenic activities takes place. So today we discuss about the epirogeny and orogeny. Content includes endogenetic geomorphic movements, classification of endogenic movements in which diastrophism and sudden movements are main content. First of all, we discuss what is the earth movement. Earth crust and its surface are constantly evolving or changing due to various forces emanating from below, that is endogenetic forces, as well as above the surface of the earth, that is exogenetic forces. These forces causes physical and chemical changes to the geomorphic structure, that is earth surface. Some of these changes are imperceptibly slow, that is weathering, folding. Some others are gradual, that is erosion, while the remaining are quite sudden, that is earthquake and volcanic eruptions. Now, the geomorphic related to the form of landscape and other natural features of the earth surface. Geomorphic agents: mobile medium like running water, moving ice masses, glacier, wind, wave, currents, etc., which remove and transport the earth material. Geomorphic process: physical and chemical process that takes place on the earth surface, in which folding, faulting, weathering, erosion, etc., due to endogenetic and exogenetic forces takes place. The geomorphic movement: the large scale physical and chemical changes that takes place on the earth surface due to geomorphic process. Now, endogenetic geomorphic movements: the large scale movement on the earth crust or its surface brought down by the force emanating from deep below the earth surface is called endogenetic geomorphic movements or simply endogenetic movements. Endo yani internal, genic means origin, geo means earth, morphic means form. The geomorphic process that are driven by the force emanating from deep below the earth surface are called endogenic geomorphic process, which include folding and faulting. The force behind endogenetic movement. What are the forces which are responsible for the endogenetic movement? The ultimate source of energy behind the force that drive endogenetic movement is Earth's internal heat. This is Earth's internal heat. The internal heat that is result of mainly radioactive decay of the Earth's internal heat and gravitation that causes pressure gradient. Yes, the difference in the pressure and temperature among various layers of the earth give rise to density difference, and these density difference give rise to the conventional currents. The conventional current in the mantle drive the lithosphere plate, crust and upper mantle, and the movement of lithospheric plate is causes behind the endogenetic movement. The earth rotation Coriolis effect can influence where convection current travel. The destination of convection current determine the nature and location of the endogenetic movement. So there are the main force which behind the endogenic movement is the internal heat of the earth. Due to internal heat, there is change in the temperature pressure in the different layer of the earth crust. Due to convection currents are rises, and due to convection current, movement of lithospheric plate is causes. Hence, the earth rotation or the Coriolis effect can influence where convection current travel. So, if we discuss a chart on the earth movement, there are two types of forces. First one is the endogenetic movement and second one is the exogenetic movement. Now, due to endogenetic movement, there are two types of incidents are happen. First one is the dystrophism and second one is the sudden movement. So, due to dystrophism, aperogenetic or continentic forming takes place, and orogenetic or mountain building process takes place. Due to aperogenetic movement or continental forming process, there is upward movement and downward movement of the crust takes place. Upward movement is the upliftment and downward movement is the process which is make subsidence. Now orogenetic movement takes place in the form of tensional and compressional forces. So tensional forces are that in which a part of the crust in which there are force is acting in the different direction. Due to there is tension due to faulting takes place, and in the compressional, the body which the force acting on the same direction due to bending of the earth crust takes place, bending in which the folding is takes place. So we discussed the dystrophism. The dystrophism refers to the deformation of earth crust due to dystrophic movement, deforming movement such as folding, faulting, warping, bending or twisting of a large area and fracturing. All the movement, all the process that move, elevate or build up the portion of the earth crust come under dystrophism. Orogenic process involving mountain building through severe folding, crust is severely deformed into fold and affecting long and narrow belt of the earth crust. Now aperogenetic process involve upliftment and warping of large part of the earth crust and simple deformation takes place. Earthquake and volcanism involving local relativity and minor movements. Plate tectonic involving horizontal movement of the crustal plates. The most obvious evidences of dystrophic movement can be seen where sedimentary rock have been bent, broken and tilted. Now we discuss the aperogenetic or continental forming process. Aperogenetic or continent forming movement are radial movement act along the radius of the earth. Their direction may be towards subsidence or away, uplift from the center. They cause upheaval or depression of land, exhibiting undulation, wavy surface of the long wavelength and little folding. The broad center parts of the continent are called craton and are subjected to aperogeny, hence name continent forming movement. Now the upliftment in the aperogenetic process takes place. So raised beaches, elevated wave cut terrace, sea caves and fossiliferous bed above sea level are the evidence of the upliftment. So all these parts in the sea are example of the upliftment. In India, raised beaches occur at several places along the Kathiawar, Nellore and Tirunelveli coast. Several places which were on the sea some centuries ago are now a few miles inland due to upliftment. For example, Koringa near the mouth of Godavari, Kaviripatnam in the Kaveri Delta, and Korkai on the coast of Tirunelveli were all flourishing sea ports about 1000 to 2000 years ago. Subsidence. The submerged forest and valley as well as buildings are evidences of subsidence. In 1819, a part of Run of Kutch was submerged as a result of an earthquake. Presence of peat and lignite bed below the sea level in Tirunelveli and Sundarban is an example of subsidence. The Andaman and Nicobar have been isolated from the Arakan coast by submergence of the intervening land. On the east side of Bombay Island, trees have been found embedded in the mud about 4 meters below low water mark. A similar submerged forest has also been noticed on the Tirunelveli coast in Tamil Nadu. A large part of Gulf of Mannar and Park Strait is very shallow and has been submerged in geologically recent times. A part of former town Mahabalipuram near Chennai is submerged in the sea. Now, orogeneity movement or mountaining forming movement. In contrast to epeirogenic movement, the orogenic movement is more complicated deformation of the earth crust associated with crustal thickening due to convergence of tectonic plate. Such plate convergence form orogenic belt that are characterized by the folding and faulting of the layer of the rock, by intrusion of the magma and by volcanism. Orogenic or mountain forming movement act tangentially to the earth's surface as in plate tectonics. The tension produces fissures. Since this type of force act away from a point in two directions, and compression produces folds because this type of force act towards a point from the two or more directions. So once again here the force acting in the two directions, so there is fissure is formed just like in the example, and in the compression there is folding, so because the force acting on the same direction, hence there is folding of the layer takes place. Now the sudden geomorphic movement can occur mostly at the lithospheric plate margin, that is tectonic plate margin. The plate margin are highly unstable region due to pressure created by pushing and pulling of magma in the mantle convection current. These movements cause considerable deformation over a short period, in which earthquake occurs. So earthquake occur when surplus accumulated stress in the rock in the earth crust, earth interior due to folding, faulting and other physical changes is relieved through the weak zone over the surface in the form of kinetic energy or the seismic waves. Such movement may result in upliftment or subsidence in the coastal area. An earthquake in the Chile 1822 caused 1 meter upliftment in the coastal areas. An earthquake in New Zealand 1885 caused upliftment of up to 3 meters. An earthquake in Japan 1891 caused subsidence of up to 6 meters. Earthquake may cause a changes in the contour, changes in river course, so change in the river courses, shoreline changes, glacial surges as in Alaska, landslides, soil creep and mass wasting, etc. Volcanoes. The volcano includes the movement of molten rock magma onto or towards the Earth's surface through narrow volcanic vents or fissures. A volcano is formed when the molten magma in the Earth's interior escapes through crust by vent and fissure in the earth in the crust, accompanied by steam, gases like hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen chloride, carbon dioxide, etc., and pyroclastic material, clouds of ash, lava fragment carried through the air and vapor. Depending on the chemical composition and viscosity of the lava, a volcano may take various forms. So, thank you. This is all about the endogenetic force which affect the earth crust. Thank you.